Yo, what's up everybody? Good evening. And I just wanted to touch base with you because I had a lot of things going on today trying to figure out what was going on with the hatch. And I know that I haven't really been doing all of the activities that I usually had been doing when I didn't have the hatch with Vicente, if that makes sense. So I plan on doing something with Vicente the next time that I have off and he's with me. Like tomorrow he won't be with me. He'll actually be with his mom. I dropped him off a while ago, but I was also editing some videos, so I didn't get a chance to do some of the things I wanted to do tonight. That I had the time to do, but it was just too cold outside. So I just chilled out on it and just relaxed. So when you actually see me at AutoZone, that would technically still be today, but today would be considered a new vlog because I just wanted to talk to you guys about what's been going on with the hatch. And then tomorrow's vlog will actually be me doing the oil change that I have inside of my Jetta right now. Not doing any good there. And then the fuel cleaner or the fuel injector cleaner that I'm gonna have to drive the hatch around to try to waste and burn that gas so that I could be able to use it and then apply it into like a new tank of gas. I have been having issues, ongoing issues with the hatch, and I have been trying to troubleshoot and figure out what's been happening. When we ran the old school method of the what it is basically a safety pin that's we turned into a U. We hook it up into the 2-pin. It's an old school method that gives you a flashing light. Your check engine light turns into your signal codes, and I actually came up with the code 7 and a code 16. So the code 16 is the fuel injector. Doesn't specifically say which one, but I have 4. And then the code 7 is the throttle body position sensor. And I believe, and Chewy had believed, and it's funny that we're talking about it now, but Chewy had believed that it had something to do with the air. I had believed that it had something to do with the fuel. So it looks like we were both right in a sense. Except Chewy's method of us trying to attack this is really just focusing on starting from just the cleaners, right? So we're going to try to go through, because my car is still technically running, it is still technically turning on, and it is still technically letting me push the gas. It is though, after about an hour of use, of continued use, that the car will then begin to sputter because of the fuel injector or injectors. I don't know which ones, but the throttle position sensor that I had mentioned, because Chewy had mentioned that it's probably the throttle body getting stuck, it could be potentially the issue. So I'm gonna buy a spray tomorrow so that I can go ahead and take care of the throttle body and kind of spray it down, lubricate it, and then I'm also going to do the fuel injector treatment. If neither of those work, then we're going to resort to the actual sensor of the throttle body, and then we're also going to result in changing or ordering new fuel injectors, well, remanufactured fuel injectors, basically fuel injectors that have recertified and reconditioned to factory specs by Honda, because it's gonna be a whole lot cheaper. You can get like one fuel injector for like 80 bucks at AutoZone or O'Reilly's, at least minimum 80 bucks, and you can get all 4 on eBay for 80 bucks. You gotta be kidding me. Of course I'm gonna go with what's smart, especially if this was the motor, like if this was my GSR motor, future me talking, obviously I would go for something that's going to be a way better injector and probably invest a lot more money on a fuel rail and fuel system so that I can give my car what it needs to perform the way that I imagine it or always had wanted it to. But in this circumstance, it's not that. It is just a single cam daily driving motor that I want to be able to use the car on a day-to-day basis and be able to have my Jetta kind of sit back and take off a little bit of it, give it a vacation to say. The hatch has been having those issues, and yet I have been doing other things to give the car new life, and I believe and I hope that these things will be able to satisfy the car's opportunities and really give me a whole new hatchback is what we're looking for, right? And the reason why I'm looking for that is because I want to start building the subframe and the foundation of the car, and I need to be able to test that ability or that ride or that height adjusting my coilovers right, for example. I want to be able to do all of those things, and I need the car to be able to run to do those things. Yes, I can build all of that stuff without it, but I feel like having that foundation and being able to feel it and use it and be able to get hands-on with the suspension that I'm going to build is going to give me an opportunity to learn what my car drives like. Yes, the added power is going to make a difference to how I handle the car, but it won't make a long-term difference, if that makes sense, because eventually you'll get used to the power. What you won't get used to, and what you won't get used to, is a bad suspension. You can never get used to that because it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So being able to really identify the issues that I have and be able to fix them, like even going as far as like the axle and the CV boot, they're probably really worn because of the fact that there's no power steering. So those are all things that I need to look at. And also the master cylinder, the clutch cylinder is like is leaking, so I really want to look into the brake cylinder, the master cylinder, the clutch cylinder. I want to look at, and I know that's probably like 2 things, but it sounded like it was 15. But really, I just want to look at those because one of them's leaking, and the other one had been run with no clutch fluid. Like that's a problem. So I want to see what it is that I can do to start identifying issues with this car and really being able to help not only you but help myself to learn more about all of the things that I learned along the way from having 3 other hatchbacks of this same type, or 2 other hatchbacks, this being the 3rd of this same type. So as I continue to start adding to the suspension, adding to the subframe, the sway bars, the strut bars, all of those things that are going to really give this body some good stability, and then the suspension, tower bars, the exterior things like the rims, and then maybe some new Tokyo white, not blues, so I could have the dampening. Also focusing on just what it is that I want to do with the sound and the stereo, because I've always had stereos in my cars, especially my hatchbacks. So those are all things that are going to come down the line, but I just wanted to have this conversation because I feel like I haven't had the conversation where I've actually talked about, now this is what we feel is the issue, because this is what the car is telling us the issue is. Like literally the codes are telling us that that's the exact issue, and what it is that I plan to do with the car, how it is that I plan to build the car, and what it is that you could do to help me get there. Because advice and comments in the sections below will give me an opportunity to really vibe and bounce off ideas, and I'm cool with that. I like that. I'm not trying to build a car that's going to be for show. I want to build a car that I'm going to be able to drive with my son. So when it comes down to it, like the kind of things that we want to talk about, or the kind of things that I want to talk about, or what's the best turbo for daily driving, how many pounds of turbo should I run, or how many pounds of boost should I run if I want to daily drive my car, like realistically, like am I looking at under 8 pounds, or I don't know anything about those things. I don't know what kind of fuel rail I'm going to need to run. I don't know what kind of fuel pump is going to matter when it comes to upgrading my car. I don't know any of that stuff. So this is going to be a big chance for me to be able to talk to you guys and really see what it is that I can do to learn more before I actually start doing a lot of these things. Because some of it, yes, will be done by my hands, and then some of it will be done by shops. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, when it comes to tuning, when it comes to motor swapping, those are all things that matter to me, that they're done right. Yes, I could try to do it by myself and learn to do it by myself with my boy. It sounds easy enough. Dropping a motor in is not something that I'm unfamiliar with. I've done 4 different motor drops and like transmission swaps. I've done 2, and it's just really about how comfortable do I feel running a whole new ECU system and making sure that everything's gonna work right the first time. So it's all of those things that matter, and I think that it all just really depends on who's gonna give me the best deal, or if I'm just gonna end up thinking that all about the fact that I want to save money. And I don't know how it's gonna be, but I do know one thing, and I do know a couple more things about what it is that I want to do. One thing for sure, I want to do it right. I'm building it for my son, so the things that we're going to do along the way, I really hope and appreciate all of the things that you guys give us as feedback or insight, websites, whatever it may be, forums, links to anything, because everything that I have in store for what it is that I want to do is going to be through you guys, with you guys, for you guys, because this channel was created for that potential reason, and I feel like everything that we've been doing has been successful up to this point, and will continue to be successful beyond. So have a good night, guys, and I hope you enjoy this video, just me talking about the hatch, because I know that it has been the main focus of my channel, and I really want you guys to know it's because that's what's been relevant in my life at the moment. It's like a rejuvenation of what it is that I want to do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I know that you guys will enjoy what's coming. Let's just continue to grow and continue to go, right? Have a good night, guys.